So today we're doing a headshot shoot for BBC radio presenter and actor Theo. Today I'm going to be using the Sony a7 IV with a Sigma 50mm 1.4, and we're going to do several lighting setups to get a variety of different shots. We're going to be doing some shots on the white backdrop, we're going to use this brown backdrop for some shots, and we're going to go out in the roof to get some natural light city kind of vibe shots. So stay tuned to see how it goes and see the results. So we started on the brown backdrop, and as it was daylight, I used natural light coming in from the window from the right to light him completely. These were my camera settings for the natural light shots. And then I introduced a 600 watt strobe light with a 120 centimeter octobox on it. Still with the blinds up, so there was a bit of natural light hitting the backdrop as well. The flash was on at 8th power, and these were my camera settings. I think from these set, I prefer the natural light shots. And just to get a few softer shots, I took the grid off the main light for the last set.
You made me like these beers, bro.
And then we moved on to the white backdrop. I started off using the same flash setup, just moved over to the backdrop. And then for these next shots, I got him to sit down on a stool. And then I switched over to the continuous lights just to get a softer light. I wanted the background to be a bit darker for these ones, so I switched to the 60 centimeter parabolic octobox on the Neewer FS300C. These ones are just a bit of a Rembrandt lighting, just to the right of him with a 45-degree angle down. And here we did a bit of an outfit change, just changing his jumper. While he's getting changed into his next outfit, as you can see, I've done a few with the larger softbox, but just to get the background a bit darker, I've switched to this 60 centimeter octobox with the grid on it. And then I've got him sitting here. It's just a simple one light setup. The light's here in front of him, so that we're not getting too much shadow under the eyes, because we want to really see his face and facial expressions. But the background's going to be a fair bit darker than him. And then I'm going to move it slightly and get even more of a shadow. But this one is just straight up, directly in front of him at a 45-degree angle down. And he's sitting to the back edge of the light because I want the fall off to curve around his face. So as you can see, here's me just under the light, trying to get a straight on shot and just get even lighting throughout his face for these shots. And then for these, I added in a rim light over to the left back with a strip box and a grid on it. That is a CB300C. And both lights are on 100% intensity. And these are my camera settings for these. And as you can see here, I'm moving the light and him away from the backdrop just to get a darker grey on the backdrop, so it's giving him more separation, so you're focusing right on his eyes. I feel like when people are sitting, it's a little bit easier to light them because they're moving around less and they're not focused on their bodies, they're just sitting down, so they can really focus on their facial expressions for headshots, because it's the range of expressions that are the most important in headshots. But I've also got the screen tethering so we can see how he looks throughout the shoot. It's important to let your client view the images as you're shooting, because they can fix themselves as well. So if they're too slouched, they can hunch up a bit, and then their facial expressions, because you need to go through a variety of facial expressions. So it's important for them to be able to see themselves. And also it's confidence, because when the client sees great shots coming out, their confidence increases and they're like, yeah, we're getting what we need. And they're just so much more comfortable with it. Whereas if they don't know, haven't seen a picture, don't know what's happening, then it's like, oh, am I doing good? Am I not? So you need to really keep them informed about what you think of the images, what we're doing next, what we're doing with the lighting. Just talk to them and make them comfortable, because the more comfortable they are, the better it is, which is why I think doing studio headshots is great, because you've just got that enclosed environment where you're both just chit-chatting, going through the shots, kind of explaining things to each other. So I think it's a lot more comfortable environment. So that's why I've got the screen tethering here as well. And then with the same lighting setup, we change into another top, this kind of cream shirt, which looks really nice. When doing headshot shoot, it's always good to bring a variety of tops from light to dark, and one with a pattern to mix things up a bit, because the different clothing and facial expressions will make you decide what shots you want to send for a casting. Because if it's a more darker, nefarious character you're going for, you want to send those kind of images. And if it's more of a happy-go-lucky character, you want to send more smiley, lighter kind of images. So now we're out here on the roof getting some wonderful natural light. It's a bit of a cloudy day, but the sun's peeking through just a little bit, so we should get some great shots out here. So this is for more of a vibey headshot, so you can get some industrial bits in the background, some city views in the background, just so it stands out a bit over other people's headshots where it's just studio based. So let's see how this goes. So for these roof shots, we're just using straight up natural light. I've got a few over to this side of the roof because I like the bars and the old windows in the background. This gives a more urban aesthetic. And then I got a few with the brick in the background. Sometimes the setting and the patterns in the background can really help you get the perception you're going for. And then we moved over to the other side to get more of a city buildings in the background kind of vibe. And I got into do a few sitting and some standing as well. And then for the last outfit change, he changed into the black jumper and this green leather jacket. And I really like these images as well. When using natural light on a rooftop like this, you really want to get shots in different positions and orientation, because the light from the sun is kind of coming harder from one place and softer from other places. You kind of want to play with how that light hits the face. As obviously with natural light, you have no control over what's going to happen. And as per usual, all the lights and backdrops that you see in the studio are available for hire, and the rooftop is also available for rental separately as well as the A7 IV 50mm 1.4 Sigma and Tamron 28 to 75mm 2.8. I'll see you guys soon.